How's it going, movie fans? My name is Jonathan. I am a man of movies, and this past weekend, Netflix came out with another new release. They've been coming out with new releases every single week. But is this one any good? Let's get right into. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is directed by Mike Rianda, written by Mike Rianda and Jeff Rowe, starring the voice talents of Danny McBride, Maya Rudolph, Eric Andre, Abbi Jacobson, and Olivia Colman. As young Katie Mitchell embarks on a journey with her proud parents, her younger brother, and their beloved dog to start her first year in film school. But their plans to bond as a family soon get interrupted when the world's electronic devices come to life to stage an uprising. Originally, this film was supposed to be coming out in 2020 theatrically before the pandemic came and ruined the industry. And it was supposed to be called Connected, so maybe it didn't ruin everything in the industry, with the new title really showcasing the fun and creative nature of the movie. But either way, it doesn't disguise the fact that this is not only one of the best animated films of the year, it is one of the best movies of the year. Animation is an ever-changing medium of filmmaking that breaks glass ceilings, and I'm never gonna get tired of saying this, but the animation in this movie is so impressive. There was so much room here to experiment with the style, and it's as much a part of this film as any of its other aspects. It's not as hyper-realistic as Soul or Pixar's other more recent outings, but Sony Animation is a pioneer in incorporating distinctiveness in their films. In the way that Spider-Verse felt like you were watching a comic book, Mitchells vs. the Machines felt like you were watching a homemade short film. Its individuality is without exception. Let's put those technical aspects aside. The film is an absolute masterclass. It is an excitingly great time with comedy thrown in at every possible moment and works effortlessly. Now, is there comedy that's for kids that they will laugh and love more than the adults? That goes without saying. But there is family-centric humor and adult humor that may fly over their heads, and it's so well balanced to provide a strong sense of fulfillment on both ends. The characters are engaging and relatable, and on my end of relatability, I saw myself in Katie Mitchell, and her family reminded me so much of mine that it was hard to not be as invested as I was. I'm a film fan, obviously, but I love to create content here on YouTube, sometimes even write scripts or make films like she does, and sometimes it's the ones closest to you that don't fully grasp what it is that you do or why it's so important. It's not just sock puppets or cheap green screen hacking effects. It's art, and it's an expression that brings you solace and acceptance from others like you. Each character likable and charming as the next, and Munchie the Pug actually reminded me a lot of my family dog, Tiny. What kind of animal is Tiny?
A pig.
A pig, no? What surprised me most wasn't anything I just mentioned, though those parts are stellar. It's not the significant soundtrack with a throwback song they use in an awesome way, or the explosive action that pumps you up. I'm a sucker for emotion, and the emotion that the narrative ties in together here is in such great taste. In a runtime of almost 2 hours, we are constantly pierced with the development of Katie and her father, with Katie being so ambitious of her future that she forgets about him, and her father's ignorance running its course through that brokenness. And all this is shown through home videos, perfectly displaying it and not bogging the movie down to explain them. To wrap it all up, The Mitchells vs. the Machines is another masterclass effort by Sony Animation with a unique spin on their art form and an innovative way of filmmaking that brings up a creative story about a family road trip with great music, relatable characters, and outstanding action sequences to the forefront, with a deeper, more emotional journey rooted in its core about family. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Usually my highest ranked of movies will always be either a must-watch or an Academy Award-worthy film. Let's take those out, or combine them, if you will. This is something I say a lot, and this is going to be my new standard of tip-top films in my opinion. The Mitchells vs. the Machines is a banger. But those are just my thoughts. Have you seen The Mitchells vs. the Machines on Netflix? And if you haven't, what are you doing? Go and watch this movie. It is so good. It is one of my favorite films of the year, if not my favorite. I can't wait to talk about this movie with you guys in the comments below. But like always, like this video, share this video with family and friends, and subscribe to my channel. Till next time, movie fans.